Again, this is Alex with MasterChartsTrading.com, and this is market recap for Friday, September 28, 2018. I'm recording this on Saturday, September 29th. So again, stocks are trading near all-time highs, while the non-US stocks by and large sell off, and also euro and pound come under pressure. I'll give a run through for a trade that we just did at MasterCharts Trading Disney. So we'll look at bond market. Again, they're trading near the lows. Junk bonds may have cleared an important resistance level, and this is generally a good sign for the stocks. Yen makes a new 52-week low. I have a trade open. I'm shorting yen. We'll look at gold and dollar. We'll finish off with oil, natural gas, and cryptos, which kind of look interesting right now, possibly, especially Ripple. So very briefly, I wanted to kind of say what's going to be hopefully in the near term, where we're going with the MasterCharts Trading project. So first of all, come over to MasterCharts Trading and just sign up for the mailing list, because we are going to be hopefully expanding the service soon to include custom levels. For example, if you have your own list of stocks that you would like us to monitor. And when I say us, now I'm getting a potential partner who is a mathematician, and he is actually a medical scientist, and he's looking at my indicators that I wrote, and he is double checking my work basically. And if you want to find out more about these indicators, please go to TradingView and look for me at MasterCharts Trading, or you simply go to MasterChartsTrading.com, look for me there. But this, I just wanted to give you a heads up that we're looking now at improving the indicators even further. So right now you can see that, for example, these indicators here, you can see the green, the blue, the red, and the yellow line. And this is basically how I trade, and I use pretty much exclusively my own indicators to, number one, set the bias. Do I want to be buying or selling? In other words, is the security we're trading in an uptrend or a downtrend? And how do I tell if it's in an uptrend or a downtrend? I say that if we have closed above this blue indicator line, and this is a daily chart of S&P 500, if we have closed above the blue indicator line, then I will reject all bearish setups. In other words, I will only look to buy. So for example, you can see those up arrows. Those were actual alerts that I sent to my subscribers at MasterCharts Trading. Latest alert was quite successful as well. Here it is. It was sent on 28th of June at about 270 bucks. So right now it is the stock market went up over 8% since last alert. So overall, this was a successful trade. And this is a basically trend trading, and these indicators, they're very useful with finding where to buy and sell. So you can see, for example, there was just a perfect price action here in late June. You can see the price touched the blue line and finally rallied above it, and this is where we sent an alert out. So overall, stock market bullish unequivocally. So S&P 500, QQQ, the Nasdaq, here are the QQs, fresh highs. We traded at MasterCharts Trading, so latest alert was around here in April, and again somewhere in May. Overall, again, no doubt about this chart being bullish. And I recently spoke to a lady, and she was, like thinking that the stock market will turn around and collapse from here. And I see no evidence of any of this really right this instant. So for now, let's just look for buying opportunities, and let's not worry about if or when the stock market will turn around and become bearish. I can tell you when the stock market will become bearish. Right now, S&P 500 will need to drop. Well, let me go to futures. S&P 500 futures will need to come down to this level, 25.96, for me to entertain a possibility of a bear market. So at least an 11% drop, or a let me see, 329 points drop. So a very sizable drop, and obviously we're not even remotely there. So, you know, make your life easier and simply look at the stock market as it is. And right this instant, it is going up. So let's look for buying opportunities. Simple as that. Europe is not doing as great, and we'll look at the European proxies, EZU. This is a diversified Eurozone ETF. So very nice opportunity to short if you are sophisticated enough, if you know what you're doing, if you know how to buy puts, or if you have access to a margin account, then you can short. Also, there are inverse ETFs that you could potentially use. This is a bearish security, so you can see why I think this bearish, because here on 21st of June we closed below my own indicator lines, the yellow indicator line, and again, find out more about MasterChartsTrading.com. But from here on, from June 21st, 2018, this is basically what I'm thinking. I'm only thinking about avoiding. And if I had a position, for example, I bought the position sometime in the past, I would only think about how to get rid of that position. Where would I get rid of that position? Well, at the very least, you can get rid of your position at the yellow line, because once a breakdown occurs, for example, right here on 21st of June, quite often the price kind of pulls back a little bit. So you'll have a chance to get a decent price. But if you're sophisticated, then you can potentially short. You can sell it. You can place bearish bets. And where would I place bearish bets on European markets? I would place bearish bets at the red line. And that's what happened on 28th of June. Here, we almost got 26th of September. We almost got to the red line. Here's VGK. Also didn't really quite get to the red line, but EZU looks even better, the Eurozone ETF. And notice how it got sold off. So bearish behavior of an security. So this stock fund I am basically avoiding, and I am sending my subscribers alerts that I would be avoiding European equities and emerging market equities. So here are the emerging market equities. Notice the emerging markets actually didn't sell off as hard as Europe. Notice EZU, big drop here. EEM, the diversified emerging markets, similar picture. Here is that breakdown on the 27th of June. And from then on, basically, we also are only entertaining selling opportunities, or opportunities to place bearish bets. So opportunities to do so would appear usually at the aggressive short levels, which is at the yellow line here, and you can find out more about these indicators. Or ideally, even better place would be at the red line, big bounce and then a short. So this is the essence of my way of thinking and my way of trading. It's definitely not unique, but in trading you really don't need to be very unique. You just need to be very consistent. So my consistency is in that I'm looking for opportunities. First, I need to determine the trend. If the trend is up, as in, for example, S&P 500, if the trend is up, I only go long, I only buy. If the trend is down, as in, for example, EZU, Europe, for equities, I usually do nothing. But if you so desire, you can also short or sell or place bearish bets. So I wanted to give a very typical kind of example of trading and how to approach trading, how to think of trading, how to think of trend trading in general. So on this chart, we see a graph of Walt Disney Company. And let me just get rid of my indicators here. And you can see that this is really difficult to read if you have no reference point. So for me to improve the reading of the chart and to see if I even want to buy or sell it, I really want to have a reference point. And the way I define my reference point is through the use of my own indicators, for which you can find out more about at MasterChartsTrading.com. So on TradingView.com, I can share these indicators with you, and here they are on my chart. So we can see that there are 4 lines on this chart. So number one, how do I know that Disney is in a bull market? I can do that by saying that it is no longer in a bear market. And you can see that the bear market didn't really last much. And that's one of the reasons why I continuously say that to sell or to short equity, to sell or to short stocks, you really need to know what you're doing. And additionally, the moves to the downside during the overall general bull market may be muted. So you can see that, yes, definitely here on the 23rd of March, where my pointer is, we see a breakdown and we see a bearish turn. Here we have a bounce towards the red line on the 7th of May, and I would have probably shorted it there, or alternatively I would have shorted it here on the 24th of May. But notice that the move down is really small. So this is the reason why I kind of don't really like to short equity. So later, in a few days later, you can see that there was a breakout right there on the 14th of June. And you see how obvious it is on the graph, because you can see that the price has closed above the blue line. There's the blue line, and this blue line was drawn in real time, so we can actually advance forward, and there it is. It occurred on 14th of June. So this is a breakout, and from here on I basically say, okay, this is it. The stock is now in an uptrend. We need to be buying it. We definitely don't want to be selling it. We don't want to be shorting it. We want to be buying it. Where do we buy it? I usually buy on breakout above the blue line. So we advance the chart, and a few days later, there's the breakout, a second close above the blue line, sometime in July. I wasn't trading the stock back then, so I was waiting for another pullback, and there it is, that occurred on the 6th of September. And this is an actual alert. I send this to my subscribers. So this is definitely a successful trade, because usually I put my stop well below here at the yellow line. So again, you will need you will need to calculate your position according to the amount of money that you have in your trading account. If you have a little bit of money, then you will need to most likely take bigger risks, unfortunately. If you have a lot of money, then you don't need to take as big of a risk. You can take small positions. So here is the latest trade that was sent on the 20th of September. Alert was sent. Actually, the next day you had an absolutely killer opportunity to enter on the 21st of September. And we spoke with a friend of mine. He's a trader as well, Zach, and hopefully he's of Moto Trades, and hopefully he will do a video sometime in the future. And we actually got together. We had a really cool talk about just various trading and how to approach trading. And he trades options, so I wanted to show you. He posted it here on, if I can find it, Moto Trades. There it is. So he posted here Oh, there it is. So Disney, and you can see that the price basically doubled, and we were talking about there were $2 when we viewed them. So definitely a very easy way to trade. We simply look for a trend in security, and in this case I assign the trend by simple visual breakout, close above the blue line, as for example here that occurred on the 14th of June. Again, you can get these indicators on your chart, and TradingView account is free. All you need to do is pay for the indicators on my website. So, and then from here on, we basically look for buying opportunities. Here's again a couple of opportunities that I highlighted, and with options, I mean the gains could be enormous because the options really move very, very large. Basically, it's a very large moves. They're almost like on steroids. So if you have a move just a few points here, the options move several dozens of percent for the same time period. So here is in a nutshell my technique. I look for uptrend security, and then I simply look for a pullback towards the blue line or an outright just breakout. Sometimes I like to just buy on breakout above the blue line. Okay, let's continue to the bond markets. Here is TLT, 20 plus year Treasury bond fund, breaking down last week to 52-week lows here on the September 19th, 2018. Not really much to say. And here in August, I thought we're going to go higher and actually break out. Notice that did not occur. In fact, during one of the previous videos, I put the arrow here because I just did not like this candle, and I was correct. Look at the sale that continued afterwards. So yeah, overall bearish security. I would avoid that. Bond market seems to be saying that the stock market is going to stock market bull run is going to continue. LQD, this is a investment grade corporates, also hit fresh low here just a few days ago, and again kind of this Friday candle looks bad, so I think we may see another leg down. Here's an overall bond market, AGG, also fresh lows recently. So yeah, I don't see anything. I don't see any signs of recovery yet. Anything is possible. Junk bonds, on the other hand, have cleared an important resistance level. I think this closed literally by 1 cent above the support resistance line here, the red support resistance. I mean, we could go higher. I mean, there is a possibility that a breakout is brewing, and junk bonds and stock markets correlate highly to one another. So overall, I think we could see a push higher for junk bonds and stocks in the near term. So again, unequivocally bullish chart, S&P 500, and junk bonds maybe adding fuel to this rally in the stock market too. Okay, let's continue to the Forex universe. Here is DXY, dollar currency index. It's a CFD that cannot be traded in the United States, unfortunately, but if you're in Europe, then you can trade it. So this is more for reference purposes to determine which way the dollar is even going, and I think the dollar is going higher because we see a breakout here on 28th of May, or let me see, where is it? Somewhere around 25th, 28th of May, and then pullback, and basically anywhere we can start buying. The ideal place would have been on the 12th of June right there, on close above the blue indicator line. So you can find out more about these lines again by going to MasterChartsTrading.com, and you can ask me a question, or you can also go to TradingView and look for me there at MasterCharts. So here, just a few days ago, basically again the stock, or rather this instrument is coming down towards the blue line, tried to bottom here and then rallied. So I was hoping really for it to touch the blue indicator line, and now it didn't. So I wonder now if we're still gonna come down towards the blue indicator line. So let me show you my trade. This is US dollar versus Japanese yen. Here's what happened. I went long. I bought on the 23rd of August, I believe, and this is an actual alert to my subscribers as well at MasterCharts Trading. So I bought at 110,967, like right there, basically at the blue line, right there. So I had a pretty decent price. And then a few days it kind of meandered basically, and I was a little worried, but then we saw a push higher, and this is my conservative target basically. I don't need a lot of movement, but because of the leverage on Forex, this is already a sizable move. This was already, let me see, about 114 pips on the first target. So I sold half here on the 13th of September, and I trailed the rest. Then here on the 21st of September, I thought we were topping out, and I decided to sell another half. So after that, I have about a quarter of my position remaining, and I'm still trailing it higher. And notice that it's US dollar versus Japanese yen just broke out two fresh highs. So this is again a unequivocally bullish chart, and we should be looking to buy it. In other words, to buy US dollar using Japanese yen. The other markets, the Euro and British pound, actually recently sent alerts about them as well to my subscribers, so I can't really show the chart here, but if you're interested, do sign up at MasterCharts Trading. So overall, currently I still have a position open. I bought, on the remainder I have about 264 pip in my favor on the quarter of the position, but overall, obviously a very profitable trade. Does this happen all the time? Quite often. This is a pretty robust system, so provided that you have. Well, on Forex it's easier because you have pretty large leverage. So even if you have a very small account, you can still trade it using such wide stops. So you can see that the stop initially was here at the red line. And this is to avoid being wiped out prematurely. So this is at about 250 pip stop. And for that to work, you will need to calculate your position appropriately and use risk controls as normal. So this is weighing on gold, obviously, because gold is traded XAU USD, so gold above, USD below, so XAU USD. Obviously, in this case, USD is winning the battle and pushing the prices lower. So notice that we're very close to 52-week lows. I thought we're gonna, go up slightly higher, and I was actually hoping to sell or short gold. Here's the gold futures. Conservative short levels would have been 1243. Obviously never got there, and aggressive shorts already look to be selling basically here. Possibly, yeah, we may see fresh lows, and if this happens, that means that dollar will go to fresh highs. So DXY, we're quite close to fresh highs, and then corresponding separate currencies like the Canadian dollar, the Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, and British pound and euro, of course, we will most likely suffer as a result. All right, so let's look at oil. CL1 exclamation point. Again, bullish chart, no questions about it. I would be looking to buy it around 65 bucks if it pulls that far. Natural gas futures. I had a short position here from 15th of August, and I had actually another position here as well. Both successful. Big bounce here into September, late September. Now, basically, we're waiting for another close below this line, which is 2.954. We'll see where that goes. Let's continue to cryptos. So BTC USD. I keep mentioning the same things. See how narrow the trading range is. See how narrow the indicator lines, this green, blue, red, and yellow lines have come together versus the previous, even in August, where they were really far apart. So what this is showing is that now the price, which is currently at, what is it, 6,500 or so, has less distance to travel towards bullish levels. So as in, for example, here from today's prices until bullish levels is, let me see, about $3,000 or 47% move. Before, for example, you can say back in July, you can see that the corresponding move would have been about $6,500, or about 80% move. So that means that the trading range has narrowed, and now there's a possibility of a breakout, and an easier possibility of a breakout for cryptos. Not as much distance need to be traveled by this security, by the price. LTC USD also similar pattern. You can see the indicator lines are getting closer together. Ethereum, a little bit of that, but not much. Ethereum is one of the weaker ones currently. And here is the strongest, I think. It's Ripple, XRP USD. So you can see a big move here from 27 cents until like 81 cents. Really huge move. And additionally, you can see the indicator lines are also really coming closer together. So now I'm wondering if the price will continue higher to around the buck, 0.99 here, and maybe it will actually break out higher. There's a possibility. There's a bigger possibility of that now because of the narrowing of the trading range, and again the price has less distance to travel towards bullish levels. All right, if you have any questions, comments, if you would like to share this video with others, please do so. Also hit the like button, and this would mean a lot to me. Then head over to MasterChartsTrading.com, that's MasterChartsTrading.com, click on alerts and indicators, and sign up for one of the plans. And I highly recommend you sign up for one of the plans that includes the indicators, and you can find out more about those indicators. If you click on the link, you'll be taken to my page on TradingView, and there you could look at the indicators and how they work, and you can see my ideas being published here as well, so you can read about that. And sign up here, and then you'll get alerts. You'll also get the indicators that you can use to trade your own stocks. Okay, that's it for this week's recap. Thanks for watching. Have another great trading week. Bye-bye.